Good morning. Good morning. I'm pleased to welcome each and every one of you to the Fletcher School Diplomacy's 2023 commencement. In fall of 1933, the school opened its doors and welcomed its first students as the first graduate-only School of International Affairs in the United States. 9 decades later, our ceremony today honors Fletcher's commitment to courageous, solution-focused global leadership. We are committed to the essential roles of law and diplomacy in the pursuit of peace and justice. We recognize the importance of all of our fields of study and the interplay between them and the need for interdisciplinary approaches to the complexity of today's world. To those of you graduating today, we look forward to seeing how you make your mark in this fast-moving world. Before we continue, I just want to offer a few brief words of congratulations and encouragement of my own to this graduating class. Yesterday, in my State of the School, I reflected on Gramsci's writing on the pessimism of the intellect and the optimism of the will, elaborated in his prison notebooks at the same time as our founders opened this school. He wrestled with the seemingly contradictory coexistence of, on the one hand, a realistic assessment of the current world, and on the other, a commitment to the possibility of transformation. Class of 2023, 90 years on, this is still a challenge to wrestle with. Transformation is underway. Each one of you will pursue transformation in different ways. At the individual level, maybe in your company, maybe your country, maybe an international organization, maybe the multilateral system. At the beginning of the pandemic that has shaped us and shaped our interactions and continues to shape them, I was hopeful that the shock to our system would mean that we had an opportunity to imagine our world differently. And if we can imagine it differently, we can build it differently. Watching your progress through this school in your time here, I am confident that you are, together and alone, the reasons for this hope. You will need to be cathedral thinkers. You will need to be the stonemasons and architects of the systems, governance, laws, rules and institutions that we need for a decolonized, free, fair and healthy future, for a different relationship with the planet and for peace. It will be future generations that will enjoy the full benefits of your work. We send you forth from here, part of the Fletcher community, confident in your abilities, your networks and your commitment. So in the words of a modern-day political philosopher, Ricky Gervais, a society grows great when old men plant trees, the shade of which they know they will never sit in. Good people do things for other people. That's it. The end. And now I'd like to introduce those with me on the platform, beginning on my right, Leslie Puth, the chair of the Fletcher School's Board of Advisors, Professor Diane Mazarana, research professor at the Fletcher School, Dean Kelly Sims Gallagher, the Professor of Energy and Environmental Policy, and Academic Dean of the Fletcher School, and His Excellency Pekka Haavisto, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Finland and our commencement speaker today. And on my left, our Registrar, Andrew Marks, Acting Associate Dean. Exactly. Acting Associate Dean of Admissions and Student Services. I am particularly pleased to welcome our guests, especially the families and friends of our graduates, many of whom are here at Fletcher for the first time, and all of whom have been so instrumental in helping our graduates reach for their ambitions. Thank you and welcome. In addition, I would also like to thank the members of the Fletcher's Board of Advisors who are with us today. The Fletcher Board, many of whom are Fletcher graduates, provide invaluable advice and support to the school. I extend a heartfelt welcome to all the alumni who are attending this year's reunion celebration. Many of the alumni here are coming from classes long in the past, but bring a vitality and commitment afresh to the school today. And you, Fletcher, class of 2023, become the newest graduates in our alumni fold. And today, I also want to recognise the fabulous Fletcher faculty. They are the heart of Fletcher's commitment to teaching, service and scholarship that has defined and built out the field of international affairs education since our opening. But we are here today to honour the 2023 graduating class of the Fletcher School. They have succeeded in a rigorous course of study in international affairs. I am pleased to tell you that the class of 2023 includes 32 students receiving the degree of Master of Arts, 180 students receiving the degree of Masters of Arts in Law and Diplomacy, 12 students receiving the degree of Master of Arts in Transatlantic Affairs, 8 students receiving the degree of Master in Global Affairs, 54 students receiving the degree of Master of Global Business Administration, 33 students receiving the degree of Master of International Business, 18 students who will receive the degree of Master of Laws in International Law, 10 students who will receive the degree of Master of Science in Cybersecurity and Public Policy, and 10 students who will receive the degree of a Doctor of Philosophy. In April 1992, this community lost one of its most cherished members, James L. Paddock. Jim had served as Professor of International Business Relations and Academic Dean. His loss, too early, was felt deeply and is still felt today. Above all else, Jim Paddock was a superb teacher who worked constantly to strengthen and improve teaching at the Fletcher School. And after consultation with Jim's wife, Ilga, the faculty established an annual teaching award in his memory. The Paddock Award goes to the Fletcher professor who best exemplifies excellence in teaching. We are able to make this award because of the generosity of Jim's many friends, colleagues, and former students. The selection of the award is left entirely in the hands of Fletcher students, managed by the Student Council. And so I now call on Christine Munson, a graduate of the class of 2023 and Student Council member, to come forward to announce the winner of the 32nd Annual James L. Paddock Teaching Award. Christine.
Each year, the Paddock Award is given to a professor with a passion for teaching, enthusiasm for their subject, and most importantly, compassion towards their students. The award is intended to honor a professor with a gift of making complex material understandable and enjoyable, as well as a professor that actively makes themselves accessible to their students and open to their concerns. Looking at these qualifications, I can think of no one who deserves this recognition more than Professor Mazarana. A leading professor among faculty, she truly exemplifies the qualities worthy of the Paddock Award. Professor Diane Mazarana is a research professor at both the Fletcher School and the Friedman School. She directs the Feinstein's research program on women, children, and armed conflict, and she co-directs the Master of Arts in Humanitarian Assistance program. She also co-directs the Gender and Intersectional Analysis field at Fletcher. She teaches several highly sought-after Fletcher courses, including Gender, Culture, and Conflict in Complex Humanitarian Emergencies, and Children, Violence, Protection, and Resilience. She serves as an advisor to several governments, UN agencies, human rights NGOs, and child protection organizations. And she has published over 100 scholarly and policy books, articles, and international reports that have been translated into over 30 languages. This year, students flooded the Paddock Award survey with sentiments of appreciation and desire to see Professor Mazarana receive this honored recognition. Some of the quotes from the survey include, "I have never had a professor who works harder to ensure that her students leave empowered to take on the world's most difficult problems with integrity and strength. She goes the extra mile to make sure difficult and important issues are discussed in the classroom. She's an amazing mentor who goes out of her way to take time to speak with students. She makes some of the most challenging content accessible and human. And not only is her own scholarship and teaching enough to warrant this award, but her commitment to championing her students' future endeavors is incredible." Speaking personally, it's an honor for me to stand here and introduce Professor Mazarana as recipient of the Paddock Award this year. She's had an incredible influence on my own Fletcher experience. She's been my professor, my capstone advisor, leader of the Afghan task force I was privileged to be part of, and mentor, and she even helped me get my own summer internship last year. Thank you so much. More than simply an incredible professor, she is a remarkable person who shows her students that vulnerability and authenticity are true strength and power. Please join me now in welcoming this year's James L. Paddock Teaching Award recipient, Professor Diane Mazarana.
Thank you so much to the students. I've had the pleasure of being a faculty member to many of you, and it's such a privilege and pleasure to work with you as students, and now going forward as peers and colleagues. And I also want to thank my truly excellent faculty colleagues, the staff and administration that I'm really honored to work with here at Fletcher. So I'm glad that she mentioned that I do kind of hard-hitting work and try to make it accessible, because that's what I want to talk about. I want to share briefly with you some of the really groundbreaking work that Fletcher faculty, graduates, and students are doing to think smarter about how, when, where, and why gender and intersectionality matters in every subject that we study at the Fletcher School. So intersectionality refers to social divisions like class, like sex, race, disability, age. And these social divisions, as we all know because we experience it, they affect how people experience their daily lives, who's included and excluded, who faces discrimination and who has advantage. And it's also about people's specific aspirations and their identities. But these divisions are not just about personal identities. They exist in images as symbols, texts, and ideologies, including those that shape politics, law, business, economics. So what does a gender and intersectional perspective look like here at Fletcher? There's many examples I could give, but I'm just going to give 4. And then I'm going to highlight what some of the recent Fletcher grads are doing in these areas. So one of the strengths of the Fletcher School is we have a very strong faculty on international law. We offer courses in human rights law, humanitarian law, criminal law, refugee law, and much more. Now, equal rights and equality before the law are among the basic principles in various international laws. Yet, as we know, despite legal equality and protection, pre-existing structures, social divisions, and conditions determine that some members of the community have more access to their rights than others. And gender and these intersectional factors are among the key reasons that determine how people are able to claim their rights and how their rights are or are not enforced. We have many Fletcher grads working in this area, but I want to highlight the work of a few recent grads. We have a graduate from India who works as an immigration lawyer, and she specializes in Southeast Asian women and sexual and gender minority asylum seekers who are escaping persecution and torture based on their non-conforming gender identities. We have a Ugandan graduate who led the documentation of the effects of 3 massacres on over 3,000 survivors and presented her findings before the International Criminal Court during the Ongwen trial. Now her gender-age disability-focused research is informing the reparations phase for those victims. Prior to the fall of Afghanistan to the Taliban, we had an Afghan graduate who worked with the United Nations throughout southern Afghanistan, documenting killings by all parties to the war for the larger civilian casualty count. And this program both helped improve accountability, and it also reduced civilian killings in that war. We are also well known for our courses and emphasis on armed conflict and humanitarian disaster and response. That's the area I work in. Now, I often start one of my more well-subscribed classes with a question to students, and I'm going to ask you this question. Why is it that more men are killed in armed conflict, but more women die? Well, armed conflict directly kills and injures more males than females, since combatants are predominantly male. But direct fatalities fail to provide a realistic account of the human lives lost and blighted because of war. The so-called indirect consequences of armed conflict, in fact, have the biggest role in shaping people's lives during and after war. And evidence is increasing that women and girls often bear the brunt of these indirect consequences. In a study of 14 ethnic conflicts and 4 non-ethnic conflicts, all of which lasted more than 10 years, researchers found that interstate and civil wars affect women more negatively than men. They found that both the direct and indirect consequences of armed conflict combine to kill more women and to kill them at a younger age than their male counterparts. So what we learn is that the indirect effects of war are in fact the most deadly. And these indirect effects include limited food and water access, poor sanitation and hygiene, weak or collapsed health systems, increased displacement, family dislocation, family stress, domestic violence. And in societies where women and girls already face discrimination in terms of accessing these resources, violent conflict exacerbates the discrimination and makes it even more deadly. We have a lot of Fletcher grads, and we have a lot of Fletchers who are graduating today who are going to go into this work. We have a recent Armenian graduate who served as the head of Doctors Without Borders in Ukraine. And during the war, he realized that they actually needed to make a significant shift in the health services they were offering. They needed a much more focus and specialization on elderly women and men because they were the ones that often stayed behind and they're caught in the front lines. Prior to the takeover of the Taliban, an Afghan graduate led the monitoring, evaluation, and learning on hundreds of millions of dollars of humanitarian assistance with an eye to try and help ensure humanitarian reached Afghan women, and thus their children, and Afghans experiencing disability. And in Kenya, we have a Kenyan graduate who works in a leadership position in a large international non-government organization that works with pastoral populations affected by conflict and famine in South Sudan. And she's working to help ensure mothers and their children in facing severe malnutrition are treated and supported. One area that Fletcher is very well known for is the study of armed groups, of terrorist and criminal organizations, and of insurgencies. Over the last 2 decades, tens of thousands of women and girls have been members of these groups. And while these groups have their own overall goals and agenda, women and girls participate for many reasons. Some join willingly. Others join when they believe their options are available to protect or support them. Others join because they're tricked or forced. Women and girls decide to join for a variety of reasons, including protection, revenge, and political ideology. Social and economic factors, including access to food, shelter, education, escaping from forced marriages, escaping from abusive family members, also are reasons they join. Yet when ceasefires and peace accords are reached, women and girls associated with these groups are repeatedly excluded from official state programs. And in other cases, they don't want it known that they were associated with them for being stigmatized and ostracized by their families and communities. We have a number of recent Fletcher grads working in these areas. We had a Fletcher grad who was among those tasked to help negotiate the assistance to over 70,000 so-called Islamic family state members who fled out of eastern Syria in the Islamic State's last major territorial battle. Now, this Fletcher student served as a coordinator between humanitarian agencies who wanted to ensure that women and children got access to the aid they really needed, and military actors who viewed them as a security threat and thought they needed to be locked down with restricted access. We have another American Fletcher graduate student in the US State Department who helped facilitate high-level interstate dialogues between the US and her allies on approaches to preventing and countering violent extremism for young men and women. And we have many Fletcher graduates who work in organizations that are directly trying to prevent violent extremism among young men. At Fletcher, of course, we study how states engage in international relations with other states. One thing that multiple studies have found is that gender equality in a state can play an increasingly important role in predicting state behavior. Discrimination and violence against women have negative impacts for the state. Indeed, quantitative research studies have found that 1, gender equality in the state decreases the state's use and severity of violence during internal crises. 2, the greater the access of women to political power, the lower the likelihood that a state will engage in interstate disputes and war. 3rd, gender equality in the state reduces the likelihood that a state will use force first in interstate disputes. And 4th, gender equality in the state limits the escalation of violence during militarized interstate disputes. Now, we literally have hundreds, if not thousands, of Fletcher graduates from the highest levels of the state to leading grassroots movements, working towards gender equity for all genders, and as such, for more peaceful states. Finally, the topics that we study at Fletcher and that our graduates leave to take on are among the most difficult we face as a world. Being able to apply a gender and intersectional perspective helps us think and act smarter in facing these challenges. And a last word to my dear colleagues here as they graduate and they head out to face these challenges. The first is that the Fletcher Network is one of the most important resources you are leaving with today. Stay connected. Be supportive of one another. You are all going to work on difficult assignments. Help out when you can, and reach out when you need help. Members of the Fletcher Network will respond. Take physical, emotional, and spiritual care of yourself. Make sure to have beauty, the arts, physical exercise, joy, family, friends, and faith as essential parts of your life. This is what's going to keep you going when the going gets tough. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Diane. Now, in recognition of excellence in academic achievement, the Fletcher School awards several prizes at commencement. The first of these awards is the Edmund A. Gullion Prize, awarded in honour of Edmund Gullion, a former dean of the Fletcher School. It is awarded this year to the student who, at the end of their second year, having not won an award at the end of their first year, best exemplifies high academic achievement, combined with participation in the activities of the school and the promotion of its character and community. This year, the faculty has voted to award the Gullion Prize to Emily Dahl and Alexander Kotchenberger. I ask Emily and Alexander to come forward to accept their prize. The next prize is in honor of Leo Gross, a giant in the field of international law, a master of both its theory and practice, who taught at the Fletcher School for 40 years. The Leo Gross Prize recognizes a graduating student who has excelled in law-related studies. The recipient is selected by the Fletcher faculty who teach in our law division. This year, they have voted to award the Leo Gross Prize to 3 students, Anna Sophia Braverman, Chazelle Najam, and Christopher Ore. Anna, Chazelle, and Christopher, please come forward. Our final annual prize is the Peter Ackerman Award for the Outstanding Doctoral Dissertation. The doctoral award is named for Dr. Peter Ackerman, Fletcher Class of '69, who served 15 years as chair of the Fletcher Board and 11 years as a trustee of Tufts University. The Fletcher community lost Peter just over a year ago. The Ackerman Award is given to a PhD graduate who, in the judgment of the faculty, has written an outstanding dissertation demonstrating scholarly merit, originality, and contribution to the field and to society. This year, the faculty has chosen 3 recipients: Paulina Belakova, Deboshi Barat, and Lydia Sizer. Although Deboshi cannot be with us today, please welcome Paulina and Lydia to come forward to accept their award. Those plaques are heavy. Each year, the students elect one of their own to speak on behalf of the class at commencement. This year, you have chosen a student who is respected school-wide and known for her deep engagement in the life of the Fletcher community, Edda Koshma. Edda is a mould candidate who concentrated her studies at Fletcher on climate policy and how better data and transparency can drive climate ambition. After completing her bachelor's at Georgia Tech, Edda interned with the European Parliament and the UN, among other work experience. While at Fletcher, Edda was a member of the Tufts University delegation to COP27 and served as a teaching assistant to the course on climate change policy and law. She's been super active in our community, chairing the Tufts Energy Conference, organising Fletcher Culture Nights, and, very importantly, organising the Culinary Diplomacy and Food Security Club. Edda, it is my distinct honour and privilege to welcome you to give the commencement address.
Thank you, Dean Kite. Faculty and staff, honored guest, proud family and friends, and of course, the Fletcher class of 2023. Congratulations. During commencement, we celebrate the start of fresh journeys and new adventures. However, we could have not reached this milestone without the committed and ardent support of the incredible Fletcher faculty and administrators. So let us take a moment to say thank you for your guidance and encouragement, for seeing our lofty goals and ambitions, and for helping us to find the tools and confidence to meet them. We would also not find ourselves here without the unwavering support of partners, parents, kids, and countless family and friends, many of whom have traveled great distances to join us today, while others who could not be here watch on from afar, no less present in our thoughts. I'm fairly certain that I speak for many of us when I say that we are so grateful for your sacrifices that afforded us the privilege to learn alongside the true experts here at Fletcher. Even if you're still not completely sure how we study very different things but receive mostly the same degree, or why we are not all lawyers even though we take law classes. To the class of 2023, this journey could have not been the same without each and every one of you. It has been inspiring to watch us rise up to challenge after challenge, and it has taken grit and determination to reach this finish line. I hope you'll indulge me in a heavy-handed metaphor, but as I was reflecting on our journey through Fletcher, I couldn't help but think of how our academic exploration parallels the seasons we bear witness to here in dear old Medford. You likely began to prepare for your time at Fletcher during the summer, wrapped in the warm optimism that comes with the joy of learning, and for many of us, a return to academia. A clear goal and big questions, we were ready to find their answers. It was a time of grand ideals, a time when you truly believed you would still have the chance to read for pleasure. Though, of course, it still is Fletcher, so your light reading was probably Financial Times Business Book of the Year, Chip Wars, by our very own Professor Miller. As the crisp autumn breeze begins to blow, classes start and we confront our questions with excitement. We relish the lectures and dig into our readings, knowing we have voluntarily chosen to study heavy topics: mass atrocities, extremism, econometrics. These are the problems we came here to face. So, there is a bit of dread when at the end of your readings, you're only left with more complexity and more questions. That initial determination to find answers may start to buckle, testing your optimism. By the time we find ourselves in the depths of winter's chill, it is hard to resist the paralyzing numb of self-doubt. You can feel it in the icy pit that grows in your stomach when you realize the full magnitude of the questions that brought you here. How could you ever fix the laundry list of global ills, the relapsing conflict zones and post-colonial scars, indebted or unpopular energy transitions, and on and on? As incurable as these problems feel, I have learned that if you sit in Mugar Cafe for long enough, this deep freeze often starts to thaw. Inevitably, someone will come up and ask what you're working on. You might say, "Oh, just my capstone." But because of the wide range of what we study at Fletcher, you'll get a perspective from a legal pro, a security buff, or a financial whiz who can help you fill in your blind spots with the lessons learned in another field. After all, you all are tireless champions for countless issues, bringing light to human rights abuses in Palestine, Ukraine, Myanmar, and Tigray, organizing conferences on everything from gender to Africa's economic growth to religion and the Arctic, leaping into action to lend a hand to Turkey, Syria, and Afghanistan. This multitude of perspectives helps us remember that big, intractable problems need big, intersectional approaches. It's also a healthy reminder that there are so many people who stand beside you every day, working towards answers to hard questions. With this in mind, you might even feel the hope of spring start to come around. Find your determination renewed and ready to tackle the impossible bit by bit. In all honesty, I have really struggled with this type of doubt. As someone who focused their time at Fletcher studying climate change, I can't help but point out that the seasonal symbolism I'm using here may not be accurate for much longer. Even so, I stand before you on this fine spring day, determined to face the issues that brought me here because I have been moved by all of you. Today, we have made it to our new beginning. And despite our doubts and the struggles to find a post-pandemic normal, we have built a radiant community from the many corners of the world, not only sharing our knowledge of regressions or trade law, but also ourselves and our cultures through every Fletcher feast and Thursday night diplomacy club meeting at the pub. Tomorrow, some of us will work for nonprofits and multinational companies. Others will go on to serve ministries of foreign affairs or commerce. We may assume diplomatic postings in faraway places, and we will be mediating negotiations, evaluating program outcomes, and writing crisp, pithy memos. Tomorrow, we join the ranks of experts in our own right, determined to find our answers. We may leave Mughar behind, but Fletcher has handed us this interdisciplinary lens, a prism through which to view big, impossible questions, and a vast community with invaluable expertise to draw from. So, when you have those winter days, remember that spring is sure to come, and you know who to call to help it along. Thank you.
Edda, I've got a feeling I'm going to see you around. Initiated by Dean Ted Elliott in 1983, the Dean's Medal is awarded in recognition of significant achievement in global leadership. Past recipients include Shanana Ghoshmal, the former President and Prime Minister of Timor-Leste, Amina J. Mohammed, the United Nations Deputy Secretary General and today's University Commencement Speaker, Susan Rice, former US National Security Advisor and US Ambassador to the UN, John Kerry, US Envoy on Climate Change, former United States Secretary of State, former United States Senator from the great state of Massachusetts, and Anand Mahindra, Chairman of the Mahindra Group, and Matti Ahtisaari of Finland. As Dean of the Fletcher School, it is an honour and privilege to present our highest award, the Dean's Medal, to His Excellency Pekka Haavisto, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Finland. Foreign Minister Haavisto is a celebrated diplomat with an abiding commitment to global security, climate policy, democracy and human rights. Under his leadership as the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Finland took a momentous step for international unity and last month became the 31st country to join the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO. Following Russia's unprovoked and full-scale invasion of Ukraine last year, both Finland and Sweden applied for membership in the Defensive Alliance. Finland has taken a strong stance on Russia despite the risks posed for a country with whom it shares an 830-mile border and a long history of invasion. On the anniversary of the signing of the Washington Treaty, which first established NATO in 1949, Finland joined the alliance through the fastest ratification process in the bloc's 74-year history. Throughout his career at the forefront of Finnish politics, Pekka has been a powerful voice in advocating for peace and the environment in foreign policy. From 1987 to 1995, he served as member of Finland's parliament, returning for his current second term in 2007. From 1995 to 1999, he served as Minister of Development and the Environment, and from 2013 to 14 as Minister for International Development. He has twice led Finland's Green League party, and along with German Minister of Foreign Affairs Annalena Baerbock, he represents the increasing presence of the Green movement in the top ranks of European foreign policy and ministries. He was the country's first openly gay presidential candidate, running in 2012 and in 2018. And in addition to his roles, on both national and global stages, he has represented his local constituents as a member of the Helsinki City Council. On the global stage, from 1999 to 2005, he chaired the United Nations Environment Programme Task Forces on the environmental impacts of war in the Balkans, Afghanistan, Iraq, Liberia, occupied Palestinian territory, and Sudan. He was the European Union's Special Representative for Sudan and Darfur from 2005 to 2007, and subsequently served as the Special Advisor for the United Nations in the Darfur peace process in 2007, and with the Finnish government as Special Representative to the Minister for Foreign Affairs in African crises from 2009 to 2017. At a time when Fletcher students, faculty and alumni are working tirelessly to address questions of global insecurity and sustainability, we will now hear from one of the world's preeminent diplomats and one who shares Fletcher's vision of finding solutions through international cooperation. Minister, friend, Pekka, please join me to accept the Fletcher School's Dean's Medal. Pekka, the microphone's yours.
Thank you, dear graduates. Thank you, Dean Kite, for this honor to be here today, and my heartfelt congratulations to you, Fletcher School graduating class of 2023. It is such a privilege to celebrate your momentous achievement together with you. Today, you can be truly proud of yourself. Every single person can choose to promote global peace and well-being. Every thought and every act counts. Yet you, as graduates of the oldest global affairs school in the US, are uniquely well equipped to make real impact on your community and on the world around you. Now, more than ever, we need principled, values-based leadership to make our world safe, prosperous, and fair. I'm sure that each of you, wherever your path takes you after time here at Fletcher, will rise to this challenge. Dear graduates, while today is a day of celebration, the overall global security and development landscape is full of difficulties and uncertainties. We have been living in a time of war in Europe for over a year now. Russia's illegal war of aggression in Ukraine has shaken the very foundations of the European and global security order. With Russia's invasion of Ukraine, we have seen a nuclear superpower and a permanent member of the UN Security Council completely disregarding its obligations for peace and security. Yet, the courage, resilience, and resolve demonstrated by Ukrainians in the face of Russia's brutal invasion and the deliberate targeting of civilians and civilian infrastructure has inspired us all. In Finnish language, we have a particular word describing strength of will and determination. It's called sisu. I want you to go with one Finnish word from here, so say with me, sisu. 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 You are good at Finnish language. This was the first lesson. So this sisu is something that the Ukrainians are demonstrating. I visited Kiev, Ukraine last December, and under Russia's continued attacks on energy infrastructure, energy rationing, and sub-zero temperatures, the situation in Kiev was grim. However, with determination, Ukrainians pushed through the winter. Although we might be looking at a long and consuming war still ahead of us, it's clear that Russia has failed to defeat Ukraine. Instead, Ukrainians are united in defending their freedom. Finland, together with a coalition of over 50 countries, remains committed to supporting Ukraine to emerge victorious from this war and in its reconstruction efforts. We pay particular attention to environmental damage caused by the war. Moreover, we must hold Russia accountable for its crime of aggression and for its grave violations of human rights and international humanitarian law, including the forcible transfer and illegal adoption of Ukrainian children and the use of sexual violence as a method of warfare. We have to work together to maintain and strengthen the international rules-based order and to ensure compliance with international law. Russia's attack on Ukraine also changed the principles of Finnish security policy. Until February 2022, the combination of strong national defense capability, a close NATO partnership, and a network of bilateral and multilateral defense cooperation arrangements served Finland well. With the new security situation in Europe, we decided as a nation to join NATO. And I'm very pleased that we could also influence a little bit to the Swedish decision so that we could apply NATO membership at the same time. Our accession process was historically swift, and on April 4th, Finland became a member of NATO and assumed the full rights and obligations of NATO membership. I have to share with you the feelings, because on that day, on the 4th of April, I stood in front of the NATO headquarters in Brussels. I saw the Finnish flag was raised to the flags of among the other flags of the member states, and I knew that many Finns at home in Finland were watching this broadcast and in their thoughts were thinking, never again alone. Dear graduates, while Russia's illegal invasion of Ukraine has dominated the media and public debate, we have not forgotten about the right of all people in the world to live in a safe and peaceful environment. Peace building and mediation are close to my heart, and I have been extraordinarily privileged to have had the opportunity to work on peace processes throughout my career. With a great concern, we are now following what's happening in the Horn of Africa and particularly in Sudan. We can see military forces fighting against each other, and almost no one is speaking about transition to the civilian rule, which used to be the tone of the country for the past years. And once more, we are witnessing not only a humanitarian catastrophe, but also a start of a new refugee crisis on the African continent. Peace, democracy, and human rights are always evolving, and there is an ongoing risk of backsliding no matter how strong a society is. This is why continuous efforts are needed from each of us individually and from all of us collectively. If we invest in peace, we build our resilience against violent extremism and authoritarian tendencies. We must also remember that peace processes have to be inclusive. Women and youth must be on board. The UN Security Council resolutions 1325 and 2250 are very valuable tools in supporting this. One of the investments we can make is identifying and countering disinformation and misinformation from authoritarian actors who use it to promote their own agenda and muddy the waters on accountability and responsibility. While state propaganda is nothing new, today's digital, borderless social media environment means that your generation has had to exercise media literacy in a different way from my own. Here at the Fletcher School, you have developed your own capacity for critical thought and media literacy. I'm sure that in your future leadership roles, you will help counter false narratives, support free and independent journalism, and strive to build your own worldview based on fact, not fiction. Dear graduates, the sheer diversity of the topics that you have studied here at Fletcher reflects the multitude of challenges that we face as a global community, the greatest of which is climate change and biodiversity loss. Both are threats in and of themselves and act as threat multipliers, from pandemics to food security. Yet we must not be paralyzed by this challenge, however momentous and bleak it may seem. Your interdisciplinary studies here at the Fletcher School prepare you to tackle these complex and interconnected problems. I encourage each of you to find your own way to make a difference. While each nation has to do their fair share in mitigating climate change, national borders do not contain climate change and biodiversity loss. Even and especially in this time of growing great power competition, deglobalization and inward-facing nationalism, we will not be successful in slowing down climate change and ensuring a livable planet if we do not work together across the borders. This Monday, I participated in the Austrian World Summit, a panel discussion with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I only have to admire how people like him are devoting their time and energy to raise awareness of the environmental and climate risks and use different platforms to share accurate information about these topics. And sometimes you need also to popularize the message. We can also choose to amplify the voices of those who are working hardest to combat climate change. To quote Vanessa Nakate, the distinguished climate advocate from Uganda and founder of the Rise Up movement, she said, "Every activist has a story, and every story has a solution to give, and every solution has a life to change." Finally, dear graduates, a career in international affairs is an immense privilege, but it can also be depleting and demanding. When times are tough, you draw strength from your loved ones, friends, and family. The personal connections that you have made here at the Fletcher School with students from more than 70 countries are an invaluable treasure. You have made friends here that will last you a lifetime, and you have had a unique window into cultures and lifestyles that are different from your own. Whether you choose to work internationally or in your own country, you can call on your Fletcher community to help think through complex topics or compare notes on common challenges. I encourage you to make full use of this privilege and to continue to seek new friendships across borders as you navigate your careers in the years to come. Our world is changing at an unprecedented speed, and you as global leaders have to be able to take on new challenges throughout your careers. While we may not know what lies ahead, the analytical and intellectual capacity that you have developed at Fletcher will serve you well in any leadership position. At the same time, your own moral courage and core values will guide you in times of crisis. Thank you again for the opportunity being here with you on the special day as you celebrate the completion of your studies at the Fletcher School. I look forward to seeing how you choose to move forward to make this planet a better place to live for everyone. And finally, since I already mentioned Arnold Schwarzenegger, let me end my speech with a quote from the Terminator 2 movie. And this is a good quote. "The future has not been written. There is no fate but what we make for ourselves." Thank you.
Thank you. We shall now proceed to award the diplomas to the class of 2023. Followed by the hooding of the recipients of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I ask Andy Marks, Acting Associate Dean of Admissions, to lead us.
We'll start with the Master of Arts. Will the candidates for the degree of Master of Arts please rise and come forward as their names are called? Jose Manuel Sandoval Pedroza. Makeli Saidi. Crystal Ramsden. Virginia Staub. Avantika Singh. Aisha Pere. Harold Beardebeck. Jessica Kaplan. Major Matthew Diska, U.S. Marines. Maria Celeste Lacarain Garcia. Michael Brady Rothenberger. Young Yoon. Evangelia Kamarutu. Ryosuke Takahashi. Giannis Ntanos. Yusuke Atsu. Kylie E. McDaniel. Mark McDaniel. Etta Kashma. Christine Lee Munson. Arya Thapa. Maggie Fisher. Oh, we hit them all. So we're going to move to the Master of Arts in Law and Diplomacy. Will the candidates for the degree of Master of Arts in Law and Diplomacy come forward as your names are called? Tae-hee Lee. Nakul Prabhakar Sangali. Ranak Chanda Shrikar. Ian Theodore Vanderven. Maria del Carmen Corte. Diana Serrano Romero. Emma Stevenson. Sophia Zernica Warner. Talha Jalani. Cameron Alexander Henley. Maisha Majumder. Christopher Thomas. Serena Capri Saini. Kira Conchatori. Anna Braverman. Liz Parent. Jade Collins. Annis Kennedy Roberts. Daeyoung Lee. Jimin Kim. Maria Paula Silva. Claudia Catalina Gago Ostos. Laura Velez Colorado. Rahina Portilla de Rosenzweig. Dylan Chase Williams. Nicola Ying Fry. Dini Purnamasari. Jacqueline Mott. Sarah Lee. Sakshi Chandra. Samantha Marinelli. Ann Walston Trentham. Salome Henry. Andrea Afia Abrefi Namache. Ned Bergwin. Ryan Fossen Newquist. Lauren McGowan. Abdurrashid Abdusamad Sao. Sridhar Sidhar. Alex Ivanadeza. Kun Pyon. Yuk Young Sandra Chung. Zachary George Root. Benjamin Benito Chishi. Sarthak Sapathi. Yu Jong Yong. Lakshmi Vinayak Sharma. Young Yong Jung. Austin Haywoo Lee. Oh. Camilla Helena Capustina. Jamie Fry. Marek Har. Dia Chopra. Dominique Gabriela Maria Ramsawak. Ram Sarangan Sundaram. Pratyush Pranav. Meher Mandir. Bianca Holmberger. Erica Ireland. Charlie Williams. Yumeka Kawahara. Daphne Kolios. Shane Getz. Lily Min Chen Lee. Alexandra Batat. Samaya Sampath. Benjamin Forbes Madnick. Maria Burakovsky. Luke Stephen Motterhack. Lily Dalton. Kelly L. Crawford. Maliha Khan. Zara Farouk. Katya Yeni. Claudia Augustin. Faith Chipkarir Sambu. Oyin Consola Tamila Lua Adaroba. Anulika Mefor. Fatima Jallo. Stephanie Felicitas Springer. Shane Sullivan. Alexander Kochenberger. Marisol Hernandez. Aubrey Hartnett Haynes. Anshu Meghi. Ashira Pelt. Khalil Bentley. Kimberly Martin. Vincent Gullo III. Stephen Contoyanis. Mustafa Gul. Adam Daniel Volman. Olivia Domowitz. Andrew Krebs. Major Carlos Velez. Anastasia Thano. Suzuki Mizako. Rohini Roy. Sydney Sloka. Sukriti Mahipal. Simran Sharma. Anirudh Nanda. Vasilios Petropoulos. Vishal Manvi. Akiho Terasaka. Alan Zhang. Rafael Mariani. Isha Vajpayee. Pratyusha Joshi. Ashna John. Yvonne Silva. Soumya Banwari. Carlos Irisari. Siddharth Jain. Alexander Byron Thomas. Lily Hartzell. Heather Odell. Sulagna Datta. Shara Madden. Urvashi Chopra. Pujitha Golapalli. Shivani Desai. Colin Husted. Matthew Carusi. Kathleen Gronendijk. Alexander Valentini. Matthew Pickard. Andrew Fitzgerald. Sarah Froke. Lauren Bacon. Mary Kate Adji. Allison L. Corey. Nicole Matty. Lucy Hannah Masteller. Nino Sakvaralitsa. Elena Kovtaratsa. Ahmed Althani. Abdul Mohsen Barak Alatiki. Fatma Sadiq. Walid Al-Mutawa. Nani Detti. Nazihe Fazilet. Dana Ibrahim Duffus. Abdel Rahman Shishani. Jawahar Elakil. Akihito Shijima. Rio Nishio. John Allen Ward III. Eleanor Hume. Rosemary Marine Spracklin. Arpitha Srinivas Desai. Robin Zachariah Therakan. Ravi Janjwadia. Adita Danielen. Pranjal Tomar. Sar Singh Walker. Clovis Lulu. Linda Bach. Alec Dion. Daniel Croth. Andrew Philip Mohar. Theodore Angelo Anastopoulos. Wei Ting Chen. Cassidy Jantara Sambat. Pet Sri Supapal. Nishan Koffel. At the Master of Arts in Transatlantic Affairs, will the candidates for the degree of Master of Arts in Transatlantic Affairs come forward as your names are called? Maria Balask Sola. Sara Fattori. Cecilia Perez Vigal. Giovanni Medici Tornichici. Katia Elizabeth Herman Ufrasio. Veronica Furman. Lorenzo Ravello. For the Master in Global Affairs, will the candidates for the degree of Master in Global Affairs come forward as your names are called? Bringelin William Brimlow. Megan Sywak. Chester Eng. Samantha Robinson. Kyle Bloom. Emily Dahl. For the Master of Global Business Administration, will the candidates for the degree of Master of Global Business Administration come forward as your names are called? Colleen Jones. Joel Silverstein. Amy Wolf. Sarah Lindsay Westwood. David McGrath. Sally Whitmore. Emily Marie Pavasic. Angela Di Bartola. Katrina Perota. Sonia Annis. Liliana Cisneros. Amsa Heck. Rob Tedesco. Yulin Chen Landvoy. Jonathan Pooh. Matthew Gamache. Reed Douglas Gustafson. Adam Michael Brook. Colonel Nathan Skopak, United States Air Force, retired. Jennifer Blois. Rena Schoen. Lieutenant John Michael Albani, United States Navy. Meredith Robinette Spivey Lipnick. Thomas Coleman King. Jennifer Nicole Casal. Amelia Rose. Rhea Moss Christian. Amy Bagel. Anna Catherine Mazarakis. Mary Cronin. For the Master of International Business, will the candidates for the degree of Master of International Business come forward as your names are called? Jesse Neese. Haley Donahue. Ryan Cooper. Shunsuke Narikiyo. Allison Gully. Rahel Sarak. Tinte May. Ria Mehta. Kathy Hugh. Richard Offenbacher. Shreya Vadanathan. Dimitrios Papachristou. Danielle Kibet. Jiaxing Bai. Jingyu Song. Langxing Wei. Shayna Butler. Renata Bolotova. Ramsha Hamid. Julia Mary Willocks. Liu Chen. Shruti Rao. Sotiris Papadopoulos. Giannis Philippidis. For the Master of Laws in International Law, will the candidates for the degree of Master of Laws in International Law come forward as your names are called? Simone Andreas Habish. Namisha Pradhan. Yusra Sohail. Marushka Tharindi Kanangara. Eddie Rejai. Suravi Potter. Christopher Ore. Divyashree Puri. Shazel Najam. Padmini Das. Rahul Pravin Desarda. Birendra Kumar Agwal. For the Master of Science in Cybersecurity and Public Policy, will the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Cybersecurity and Public Policy come forward as your names are called? Jeff Chu. Andrew Tin Vu. Brett Salogar. Sudarshan Sigdel. Taishi Sonado. Dante Gaziano. I will now ask the Academic Dean Gallagher and faculty directors to come forward to assist with the hooding of the recipients of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. For the Doctor of Philosophy in International Relations, will the candidates for the degree of the Doctor of Philosophy in International Relations please rise and come forward as your names are called? Hi. No, yeah, I remember we did that. Yeah. Polina Belikova, Don't Blame the Generals, A Policy-Focused Theory of Erosion of Civilian Control. Monica Toft, Director, Richard Schultz, Antonia Chase, and Richard Peterson, Readers. Aaron Melas, Business Associations and Government Policy for Innovation in Middle-Income Countries. Katrina Burgess, Director, Daniel Dresner, and Ben Ross Schneider, Readers. Lydia Sizer, Should I Stay or Should I Go? How the State Department Decides Whether to Keep Diplomats in Dangerous Places. Daniel Dresner, Director, Abigail Linnington, and Christopher Miller, Readers. Arun Sukumar, Experts in the Death of Discipline. What rules for international cybersecurity mean for international law? Ian Johnstone, Director, Joel Trachtman, and Tomer Brude, Readers.
Thank you to all of the members of the class of 2023 for your diligence. I'd like to conclude by recognising the strength of our community, our students, our faculty, our staff and our alumni. You are what makes this place special. Students, you now pass into the ranks of alumni, and those who will follow in your shoes will look to you for support and guidance, just as today's alumni have leaned back to help you on your way. To belong to this community is a privilege, and with that comes the responsibility to continue nourishing it and to support each other, and to relish in each other's achievements. So now it is time to celebrate. Congratulations to all of our graduates. We celebrate your determination and hard work, your ability to overcome obstacles, to meet difficult challenges. We celebrate your capacity to take on new responsibilities, create new possibilities, and develop new opportunities. We hope that you will delve back into your learning and connections developed here as you continue on. We will cheer you every step of the way. This will always be your home. Once again, congratulations to all of you and to your families, your new families and friends. This concludes the 2023 commencement of the Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy. So please join me and the faculty, students and families in the tents and receptions around. Thank you and Godspeed.